Let me give you a truth that most people in trading don't want to hear. It isn't strategy that decides whether you win or lose. It's what you do with the strategy when real money is on the line. You can memorize perfect entries, paint the cleanest charts, and run backtests that make you look like a genius on paper. But if you don't have the discipline to follow the rules when emotions come knocking, you will fail. Think about that for a second. How many times have you seen someone post a flawless system and then watch them blow their account because they suddenly felt like taking what the market offered? That feeling, the itch to be special, to outperform, to be right, is the most dangerous variable in trading because it lives inside you and nobody can trade it for you. A lot of people come into trading expecting a machine. Plug in the setup, collect profits, repeat. That's what the ads sell, and it's seductive. But the market is not a vending machine. It is a mirror. It reflects your patience, your discipline, your greed, and your fear. Those internal qualities show up on the Pandel faster than any indicator will. Let me be blunt. You can have the most accurate method in the world and still fail if you can't execute. Conversely, you can have a simple method, even mediocre, and do very well if you execute it with discipline. Execution beats prediction. Execution beats cleverness. Execution beats complexity. Why? Because trading is a repeated game. Small, consistent acts compound into results. One perfect entry does not a trader make. 1,000 disciplined executions do. So how do you build this kind of discipline? It starts with clarity. You must define, in plain language, exactly what you will do and exactly what you will not do. No vague rules. Not manage risk sensibly. That phrase is useless unless you put numbers on it. If your rule is risk 2% of the account per trade and never more, write it down, tattoo it to your plan, and make that non-negotiable. When the market screams and your ego whispers, the number is your shield. Beyond numbers, discipline lives in routines. The best traders follow rituals that remove emotion from the moment of decision. They prepare before the session. They scan markets, identify valid setups, size positions according to the plan, and decide where a trade becomes invalid. They do not enter trades on the fly. They follow a checklist. When you put the rules into a process, your decisions shift from impulsive reactions to mechanical steps. That mechanicality is the birthplace of consistency. Another cornerstone is position sizing. This is not optional. Position sizing is the single lever that keeps you alive. Imagine a scenario where everything goes wrong for you on a string of trades. If your position sizes are reasonable, you survive long enough to come back stronger. If you hypertrophy your positions after a win because you feel invincible, you're not trading, you're gambling. The market will humble you, and it will do so quickly. There's a cruel paradox in trading. Pride makes you reckless, and recklessness destroys pride. Many traders believe taking bigger positions proves skill. It proves the opposite. Skill shows up in restraint. It shows up in the ability to walk away from opportunities that don't fit your criteria. The best traders see the market with a kind of selective blindness. They ignore noise and focus only on what matches their plan. One big difference between those who last and those who don't is how they treat loss. Undisciplined traders see losses as final verdicts on their ability. They let a losing trade narrate their identity. I'm a loser, am not cut out for this. Disciplined traders see a loss as information. They ask what went wrong. Was the entry early? Was the stop too tight? Did I fail to follow my own rule? That shift from identity-based judgment to information-based inquiry is the pivot point of growth. You need a straightforward feedback loop. Trade, log, review. If you don't write down what you did and why, you're flying blind. A journal is not optional. It is the single most effective way to break unconscious patterns. Write the trade rationale before you enter. Write how you feel. Write the outcome. Over time, patterns will emerge. You will notice how your decisions change after a few wins or a few losses. You will notice when you start to gamble. That awareness allows you to intervene. Let me talk about patience, because discipline without patience is brittle. The market does not care whether you want to be active. It only cares about probabilities. Many traders confuse action with productivity. They think that entering trades more often equals being productive. The opposite is true. The highest quality trades often come from waiting and being selective. Patience is not passivity. It is choosing to act only when the reward to risk is in your favor and the setup meets your predefined criteria. Patience reduces mistakes. It increases the value of each trade you take. Pre-session, review overnight data, mark key levels, and list the setups you will take. Decide position sizes in advance. Trade execution, follow your checklist. If a trade doesn't meet every item, do not enter. Post-trade, record the trade immediately. Entry, size, stop, and reason. End of day, review trades. Identify one behavior to correct and one behavior to repeat tomorrow. Practice this like a muscle. Consistency breeds calm. Calm breeds better decisions. One more psychological shift that changes everything. Detach your identity from being right. In the market, being right sometimes will feel great and being wrong will feel terrible. If you tie your self-worth to outcomes, you will chase validation. Instead, tie your self-worth to execution. If you follow the rules, you win regardless of the trade's outcome because you just exercise skill. That detachment reduces revenge trading, reduces size creep, and stabilizes performance. Here's a common scenario you must avoid. After a lucky streak, you feel invincible. You increase size, you bend rules, you trade impulsively, and then a normal market move wipes out gains. That's not the market's fault, that's psychology. The remedy is humility and pre-commitment. Pre-commitment is powerful. Decide in advance what you will do after streaks. Maybe you scale down your size. Maybe you take a day off to review. Pre-commitment removes the need for in-the-moment heroics. Account protection is non-negotiable. If you can't sleep because of the position size, it's too big. If a single trade can take you to a drawdown that forces you out of trading, it is too large. Your first responsibility as a trader is to preserve the opportunity to trade again. Everything else follows. Discipline also grows from small wins. Set up micro goals. Maybe this week you will follow your checklist 90% of the time. Maybe you will take 5 trades and journal every one of them. Small, measurable behavior changes compound into reliable habits. Behavior is the currency of progress. Finally, patience about growth. Many traders give up right before their breakthrough because the climb is slow. Trading is skill acquisition. Skills take time and feedback loops. If you are serious, give yourself time, measure what matters, and keep the process sacred. So what should you do right now? 3 actions you can take in the next 24 hours. First, write a 1-page rulebook. Include position sizing, maximum daily risk, and a checklist for entries. Keep it simple. Second, make a trading journal entry right now about your most recent deviation from plan. What happened, why, and what you will change next time. You'll have to train your nervous system to tolerate being wrong. Your survival in trading depends on how quickly you cut losses, accept small defeats, and move on. That tolerance is built by experience and by protective rules. Use stop losses. Place them where the trade idea is invalidated, not where your ego tolerates losing. If a stop is taken, it means the market told you your idea was wrong. Accept that and move to the next idea. Emotional control is not about eliminating feelings. It's about not letting feelings decide. You will feel fear. You will feel greed. Those are human responses. The trick is to plan for the moment those responses arrive. Have scripts, a 1-line rule you repeat to yourself when tempted. For example, risk equals opportunity. Follow the plan, or if it's not in the plan, it's not a trade. Short scripts ground you when your limbic system is loud. Another practical tool is to limit your available choices. Decision fatigue is real. When you trade with too many indicators and too many ifs, you weaken your discipline. Simplify. The best traders often use fewer variables and execute them well. Complexity amplifies inconsistency because it gives your emotions more places to hide and more excuses to deviate. Controlling your environment matters. Remove distractions. Quiet the noise. Limit social media during trading windows. News alerts are not your friend unless they are part of your process. If a headline is going to change your trade plan, it should have been part of the plan before the trade. Do not respond reactively to every ping. Build a protective shell, time blocks, focus windows, and work rules that minimize external triggers. Now, let's get practical. Here is a simple daily routine to reinforce discipline. You can adopt it as is or customize it, but the point is to have something repeatable.